When a strange young man goes toilet in your throat, it's Uncle Scrote. Good evening, my saucy sausages. It's me, your old friend, Uncle Scrote. Now, we like to have fun here on the radio, don't we, with our Halloween spooky stories and our late night dating advice for pathetic fucking losers that couldn't snag themselves some vag if it slapped them in the face like a cold slice of ham. But I'm not just a fun guy with a great head of hair and a long fat cock. I am also a human being. That's right, I've lived a lot of years, children, and those years have left me with lots of memories, some of them beautiful and some of them terrifying, but unique and lasting memories nonetheless. And I thought I'd take a break from talking about the vain, arrogant, good-for-nothing bastards that I have on my show and talk about me instead. The greatest, the latest, the only Uncle Scrote. From the olden age to the golden age, this is Scrotal Recall. The year was 1907. The country, Russia. The day, probably a Monday. The time, well, I don't know, that's too specific. And on the outskirts of a tiny farming village sat a little house made of pig shit. Inside the house was a 19-year-old woman. She was me mum, and she was naked and on her back, squealing like a stuck pig. Why? I was being born. You're ruining it with your questions, so shut up. I never knew me father, kids. Me mum told me he died in space, so chances are he was an astronaut or an alien. There were also rumours at the time that Tsar Nicholas II was launching political prisoners into the mesosphere, so it might have been that as well. The point is, I never met him. The Tsar, I mean. I never got to ask what happened to me dad. Anyway, I grew up like any other kid who lived in a house made of feces. I ate the same potatoes. I pissed in the same hole. And when we had a bit of spare time, me and me mates would play a quick round of Catch the Swine. The object of the game being to chase down and catch the nearest bourgeois freeloader before running a small blade from his collarbone down to the inside of his thigh, and you'd split him open and serve him up to the family for dinner that night. They were meagre times, but they were good times. Excuse me. That's the old spicy fajitas coming out to play. Now, where was I? Yes! House of Feces. Now, when people ask about my life, which, to be fair, never happens, they always ask me,
Right.
What?
Would you like a cup?
Why do you have to interrupt me every time I'm recording?
Well, I didn't mean to.
It doesn't matter if you don't mean to, you do it every time.
I was just gonna ask.
Well, I'm recording, you're still interrupting
I
me.
was just gonna.
Stop it! You're still doing it! If you want to talk, knock on the door.
Oh, all right then.
Anyway, as I was saying, what do you want?
I was just wondering if you wanted a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah, that'd be lovely, actually.
Yeah, black tea.
Or green, actually, if you've got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, strong, please, yeah?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, not too hot.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Thank you, Petal.
Yeah, all right.
Despite the social climate, I wasn't a very political boy, bar the occasional bourgeoisie fry-up. So I don't remember much about the revolution of 1917, except for the fact that somewhere in a bloody melee, I met me first wife. Oh, she was a stunner, kiddies. She was 4'3" and had golden blonde hair and beautiful blue eyes of an angel. And every time the sun caught 'em, they'd light up like sapphires embedded in her eye sockets. Which was all the time, 'cause she had to look straight up any time she wanted to talk to anybody. And speaking of bodies, oh, mama, let me tell you about hers. She had these two gorgeous breasts, one on either side of her chest, like two plastic bags filled with water and pinned to a rib cage. They pointed at opposing angles to one another, and when the wind was up, they'd get carried off in the breeze and tell you the direction it was going in, like a fleshy weather vane. She was great to have around if you wanted to go for a surf. Her name was Dorothea. Her mother was a Swede, and her brother was a wax sculpture of a cat, and she gave me some of the best years of my life, she did. Ooh, I remember how, in the summer, we'd pick nettles in the fields, and then at the end of the day, we'd go home and she'd use them for witchcraft. And in the winter, we'd lay on the floor by the fire, picking the last of the meat off the bones of a homeless man and giggling to ourselves, drunk on puddle water. She liked to call me her little Herman, because I reminded her of a slightly smaller version of a man named Herman. We got married on a rock in the spring because we lived on a floodplain and there was nowhere else to stand. I remember our wedding night like it was yesterday. I was there, lying awake, and staring out the windows at the starry sky, and I heard her say the name Wilfred. "What's that, sweetheart?" I asked her, and she said the name again, Wilfred. I asked her what she meant by that, and she told me that she'd had a dream, and in her dream we had a son, and we named him Wilfred. I laughed and told her she was fucking crazy if she thought I was going to name a son of mine Wilfred. Ha! I fell asleep, and I never saw her again. I still go back to our marital home sometimes, and on quiet days, it almost sounds like the wind carries the word Wilfred to my ears. And if I turn around fast enough, I can almost catch a glimpse of a pale blonde midget racing into the underbrush, followed by her enormous flappy tits. Turn of the century, Russia. It was a great time to be a peasant, let me tell you that. But that's enough for now. Little bits. You can't know too much about me at once. I've got to create a mystique there. A sexy, enticing, alluring mystique. But dare I say it, I'm almost tired of talking about myself, kids. I think...
I got your tea for you.
Bloody hell, woman! I asked you to knock!
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
You always forget!
Look, you wanted your tea and now you got it.
Well, I was just finishing. Why didn't you wait a second?
Well, I didn't know, Scrote. Now, do you want it or not?
Well, you're here now. You may as well
There you go.
give it to me.
Is it all right?
Thank you. It's perfect, actually.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay.
Look, I'm sorry, Petal. I didn't mean to get angry.
Don't worry.
I just get so focused on my recordings and my work. I get a bit wound up, you know?
It's all right. Don't worry.
So, where'd you get that thing?
What?
That sexy number?
Me dress?
Yeah.
Oh, I just went to Target.
Target, eh? That's a saucy little frock.
Scrote, do you really like it?
Like it. I love it. Come here.
Oh, Scrote, what you doing?
I'm gonna spend a little quality time with my girl, eh?
Oh, Scrote, no, your tea will get cold. Scrote. Scrote.
Yeah, you like that bitch.
Fuck me, Scrote. Fuck me like an animal.
Yeah.
Fuck me, Scrote.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
When a strange young man goes toilet in your throat, it's Uncle Scrote.